The Real Angler Podcast with community Kevin Brannon is brought to you by Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. Built to look good and be tough. Promar and Ahi USA. Premium fishing products and accessories with concepts developed by passionate anglers. Channel Islands Sport Fishing. Offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats. And more. Mossy Oak. From hot days in the water to sweltering afternoons in the woods, we've got you covered. Outfit your obsession. The Latino Business Expo, Ventura County's largest networking event. Special thanks to Bruce at Kirby Subaru in Ventura. It's the Real Angler Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. And now, here's your host, Kevin Brannon. This is the Real Angler Podcast with
Kevin Brannon.
Community
Kev, and today we're going to jump right into it. We've been having all kinds of little IT issues. So our Dockside Learning Center is in the Channel Islands Harbor, which hasn't been modified to the new century in 2 decades. So we have bad reception over there. And then we try to go outside and try to pick up something out there. And you just heard them doing construction. So we had to come home. I live right across the street from the learning center. So we had to come to my living room here at my girl's house. So here we are. But, we got a little fisherman right here, of course, family and fishing. That's what we talk about is family and fishing on our show. And today we got some family on. We got Big Willie Mays, a little backstory. So when I first started filming at the Fred Hall show, it's Bard Hall now, the Fred Hall show, my first interview was Big Willie Mays right here. And, I'm mixed. I'm black, white, and Portuguese. So to see another brother minority in the fishing industry doing some business, I kind of made it a point to really talk to him for a while. And every time I see Willie at all the fishing events, because, they're really trying to spread diversity and stuff in our industry. And also how long it's been, man. I mean, the pandemic where fishing was at its all-time best, but it goes up and down, and some people make it and some people don't. And I filmed this video over 10 years ago. So when we needed a guest this week, I thought, let me hit up Big Willie. I know he's coming to town. He's going to be at the West Coast Outdoor Expo show coming up next month. So I called him Monday, said, can you be here Wednesday? It's Wednesday morning. We got through all the IT issues, and we got Big Willie. Man, what's going on?
I'm just here in the shop. Appreciate you. Much love and blessings. Like you said, it goes way, way back. So a lot of people don't know, but some people have been on the grind doing this thing, by themselves, like yourself. You get people that help, but you're up all night thinking about it, coming up with things, and then making sure that it actually happens. So it's going to be a good time. They haven't had a show down there, so stand by, Ventura. Big Willie's coming back. All my friends down there. Come down and see us. You're going to see the world's strongest fish attraction. If all you guys remember me talking about it, trying to put it together, it's way further than that now. So I'll be in Ventura. We're going to blow the house off. We're doing our trips on the Mirage. So I think we have a trip after the show and we have a trip before the show. So we'll be up there and tear them up. And I just appreciate you guys and your channel. And make sure let me know if you guys need something. I'll send it over for your kids trip or whatever you guys do.
Yeah, man. We actually right now we're putting together. We have an intern at the shop today from the university, and he's typing up the thank you letter right now. And we appreciate you always been a donor, man. All the boat burger throwdowns that we've had, you always were the first ones to give something to us. Because me learning, man, to go up and ask for stuff and be like, hey, can I have a donation? I'm already asking for sponsorships for the TV show. But I always felt comfortable asking you, and you always give me more than enough stuff. I actually used those new pliers that you gave me. I finally got out this year with the opener, man, up there in Santa Barbara last week. And man, did they come in handy, them bright orange dolphin pliers. And you gave me those as a special gift at the PCS show, man. So thank you very much for that. I got a question, man. So how did you get into tell the people that don't know you or understand, how do you get into the bait scent world? What makes you, how'd you get creative on that? And what made you do it, man? Give us some history on that.
Okay, this thing goes a long ways back, so I hope people are listening because they always think something else. Let me grab a little bit of water. But in creating this fish attractant, the reason I was creating it, the reason I was using it, I was in the Army in Oklahoma. Some people don't know I was in a nuclear branch. I just look like this, but I'm really, really smart. I actually shot 3 nuclear missiles and lived to talk about it. So in between that time, we had a lot of study time, and we could only go certain places in the world. And there were 7 of us, and they sent me to molecular structure school. They sent me to Maryland University. They sent me to all these crazy schools. And this is when I was really young, and I just went to whatever they sent me to. And at one time, I used to assemble the missiles and put them together, learned all about the fuel systems and what made them go, atoms, splitting atoms, all types of things. And so I'm sitting in Oklahoma because it's where we could go to Germany and Oklahoma. Once you were locked in as a launcher, they would only let you go to certain places, and they wanted to keep track of where you were at all times. And there, it was pretty much a school. So they would loan me out to all kinds of things. And I started fishing the military bass circuit. And I was doing really, really good. And I had this fish attractant in my mind. And so I'm trying to make it a little bit. I don't really know nothing about bass. I only have like a frog, a spinnerbait, and one other plastic lure. But I was catching really big fish with this stuff that I was making. And I was making it in my apartment. And I really didn't understand, some of the stuff that was supposed to go in it or how, but I was reading every book about bass and how they could see the color. And then I was like, I met Roland Martin and I met Skeet Reese. And Skeet Reese showed me how to fish a worm. And I went to about 3 of his classes in Oklahoma at a bait store on Saturday. And I said, you know what? I said, I can do it. I said, I'm going to win a bunch of money catching these bass. And so after that, I was bass crazy. And I still have my first 2 bass that I caught in my shop right now from Oklahoma. And I started mixing the fish attractant. I started reading more about bass, about their systems, about anything I could read about them, or someone who did some kind of theory on them or hypotheses. I would read them because the people really didn't know about bass. Forrest Wood didn't even know that much about them. So there was a lot of theories that were out there. So I was reading all of that. And then I got into a theory about a color line system. And I believe that this guy was true. I don't even remember what it was, but I knew that they could see in color. And the lures that I was using were a certain color, and they could definitely see those. So I was going to mix those 3 colors. It was burgundy, red, white, yellow, something that flashed because I use a spinnerbait, and green from a frog because I use a plastic frog all the time. And I won a bunch of tournaments. I won Angler of the Year twice. I won a boat. One year I won a tournament because it was in Arkansas, and no one wanted me to get in the boat. So I just said I'll wait till 8 o'clock and I'll get an aluminum boat from the renter dock, because this is when they used to let the fish go at the launch ramp. So I knew they just had a huge bass tournament, and the lake came up and the water was high. And I talked to the lady. She got there about 7:30. I said, I told her I'm rent a boat. I'm in the bass derby. And she goes, they don't let you fish? I was like, oh, they got, all complaining because I'm a non-boater. I never had a boat. So if you're a non-boater, that makes everyone not on the registration a non-boater and just starts a fit at a bass tournament. I mean, that means your partner's got to get out and go in the lottery, and whatever it comes up, unless people figure it out real quick and get me on a boat, then everyone's going to be mixed up. And no one wants to go to someone else's spot. And no one wanted to take me to any spots because they were like, that's the freaking guy. They said, that's the guy with no boat? They said, that's the guy. They were like, he's catching all those fish in the back of the boat. And he was like, yep. So they were like, they wouldn't want me on the boat. And so I worked on the fish attractant for 15 years and went over and over. Sometimes it was always catching fish, but it was never working the way that I wanted it to work. And so I was out of the service. I was now I'm a police officer in LA, and then I went to Ventura, postal police, all over the freaking world. And my office started looking just like the back of this place right here that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife said, hey, how's the fish attracting coming? I was like, it's coming along. And I took 3 more classes at Moorpark College, and how to build websites and all that. So I built the website and I put the stuff online, and it started getting, calls and stuff like that. So then I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a 24-hour bait hotline, and people can call all around the world to get the world's strongest fish attractant. And so then we started that. Oh, people were calling. My wife was like, who are all these people? I had to put on speaker. Like, hey, they're going to put their credit card through. As soon as she heard that, she's like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And then one day she said, you're not getting any older. She was like, you want to go with it? And I was like, yep. I walked in the next day, told them that's it. They were like, oh, Sergeant Mays. Oh, get out of the way. I'm going to run you guys over. I love you guys, but I really didn't like working with you guys. They paid me to be here, and I'm going to go do something totally different. And they wanted me to talk to a psychiatrist and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm out of here, guys. I'm gone. And all I did was just pray about the fish attraction.
The power of prayer. I gotta jump it on that, man. The power of prayer, man. I do that a lot.
People ask me, how did I make it? I said, I don't remember. I was sleeping one night, thinking about it all the time. I woke up and I told my wife, I got it. And I went downstairs to the barn where I got everything, dumped it all out in the grass, and remixed it, and took it to the pool, and then poured it in the pool, and it started making the 9 iridescent colors. And I was like, I got it. And I screamed at the wife.
It was your eureka moment, huh?
Epiphany.
Screamed at the wife. I was throwing rocks up at the upstairs window. She finally looked out. And I go, look at the colors. Look at the colors. And she goes, is that going to stain the towel? And I was like, I'm not sure. So now I had to drop 3 foot of water in the pool. I had to do a whole scrub down real quick and put the water back in, but it didn't do anything to the pool. And that's the way that I made it. And I just went to all types of food additives that are what the heck are they? They're also ready processed. Some of the stuff is open on the internet. Like I tell people, you don't even know a food additive person or anyone that works in the food additive ordeal. The only person I knew was Clark Griswold from the
National Lampoon's Vacation.
That was it. And and so I started looking into the patents of food additives, and so we started breaking down different patents. And so if it's a patent, I'll reinvent the wheel, just like Goodyear, Michelin, and I'll just open it. And that way we didn't have to spend the money to make a patent. And the Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe was never patented. It's just a secret recipe, and they'll let you see it. I went and saw it, and I tell anyone else you should go see it, because I won't tell you what I saw, but you'll be amazed when you're eating your chicken sandwich for $14.95 down there. With you but so I started doing that, and then finding different things that, because we were looking to make like stuff that was Greenpeace, that didn't affect anything, didn't harm anything, and that was made with food probably that was wasted or not going to be used. And so we started making the bait in that formula, and I made like 10 different formulas, and some formulas had to be changed for marketing, for shelves, stores, but everything was just so explosive. And the people that I met and would give one of them to them, they would say they caught all kinds of fish and everything. So people always think that I was into catfishing. I never knew anything about catfishing.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially when I seen it. I thought, oh, this has got just a catfish attractant, man.
No.
I'm one of those people, man, that wasn't fully educated yet.
Yeah, I never knew nothing about catfishing. Keith Roddy from SoCal Catfishing is flying down here from Texas this week to fish Colorado River. So the guys from SoCal Catfish are the ones that I met at Cast Steak. I didn't even know who they were. They just saw me, and I was doing striper guides. I was catching loads of bass. It just annihilates any kind of bass. So I was doing guides at Cast Steak, and they said, hey, aren't you the guy with the stuff we saw on the internet? And I had a small bottle, and I threw it to him, said, I'm real busy. I got to take some people out. And I said, just put some pictures on my internet and let me know how you catch it. So this guy goes crazy. He calls me up, and he invites me to the first opening for the King Caterpillars that they ever had in California at the Colorado River. And
Trains there.
I go down there, and we win the tournament, and that's just how the catfish thing started.
So how many do you have a display there? How many different scents and does it work? Freshwater, saltwater? Let us know the types that you got. And
best thing. And I'm looking at the camera all crazy. There's a camera down here. And the original blood is our main formula, the OG blood. And it really created everything. People all over the world. That's why I say I'm blessed with the people, because they gave me the other ideas. I had this idea, the OG blood, and we made OG garlic. At that time, I couldn't afford the container, so I was putting it in lids from the store, Tupperware, whatever I could get it in. We kept spilling the garlic. We could not keep the garlic in anything. So at one time, we stopped making it because it would get everywhere, and it was ferocious. And so we just stopped making the garlic. And then other bass guys would say, hey, can you make it in a paste? So then we went to making paste formulas. And this year, our two newest formulas that we created, and it's just from the people. Some guys came in, and they were like, Willie, please make Ianson. They were like, have you heard of it? And I was like, yeah, I've heard of anise. I said, I think that's the way it's correctly pronounced. And I said, it's an old formula. I said, they use it in Africa. I said, I've read millions of things about it. This lady's calling me. This is Big Willie. I'm here. Hello.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got
the game don't stop, brother.
Yeah, that's our 24-hour hotline. So it rings 24 hours. We deliver baits, so that line will not stop ringing, and that's how strong the baits are. And people are watching my video from Lake Elizabeth that have been dried for about 6-7 years. And I just went out there this morning, just annihilated the trout and caught all kinds of nice ones. But the anise oil and a new one called Liquid Stink. And the anise oil, like I said, is an old oil. It's a seed flower. It has all type, goes all the way back to Egypt, the power that's inside of this plant. And it's a huge history on it. And so we did make it. Took us 6 years to make it. A lot of people think the product just pops up, but we barked the seeds. I even planted a tree, and then we broke it down. We tried to crush it in different ways to get the strongest scent out of it. And I still have it in here in our test bottles that we're sitting. So that was something that's really been asked for from anglers. And a new thing was Liquid Stink. So we make stink bait also. We make XXX blood stink bait.
Yeah.
So this formula comes from Oklahoma. We cook it with the sun. We have 55-gallon barrels in the backyard. There's no machinery except for when we're mixing it up. And a derivative from the stink bait, it produces this oil. Sometimes it's way more than we actually need, and sometimes we have to store it. One time I was burying it in the ground in my garden.
Wow.
because you had to get to the certain part to make the peanut buttery, and you didn't need all of this discharge that came off of it. So we got another barrel, and I started putting it in there, and I was thinking probably like 10 years, what the heck to do with it. And then, like I said, one day it popped in my mind. And so liquid stink is people that like using stink bait, but they don't want all of this mess. They don't want it flying around. They want the same power of stink bait, but in the liquid. They put it right here on our sponge. It's not flying around, doesn't spill in the car. I got one in the back of my truck that's been leaking out. It smells like the devil in there. So we made liquid stink, and I have all kinds of prototype things that I make, and I just been blessed, like you said, and I don't know why, with crazy ideas that I can't get out of my mind about fishing, and then I have to actually make them, and for some reason I know how to make them. People go, well, I kind of figure it out, and I said some stuff I just see in my head, and I can make it. I said I can make almost anything to me.
You're a creator, man. It's funny. I'm looking at your name, and I watched this movie called Wonka the other day, man. We're gonna change your name to Big Willie Wonka. Because you're over here, man, like your chocolate factory, man. That you're able to create these scents and these aromas, man. Really creator. Yeah. And like they say, even the way you say it, where it comes to you, man. I get visions and dreams laying in bed, and like where you get these ideas. I used to be exterminator too, man. I used to be knocking down cobwebs, and my brain would start going about my business, and I'd have to doodle it down on my piece of paper. I always keep doodles, but it really sounds like, man, like you're just a creator, and you live it, you breathe it, you put in years of repetitions, a lot of research into it. So it's good to hear that full story, man, because it's important. That's why I like to share the stories here. But yeah, man, you're a creator, man. You went in your little chocolate factory there, your spot. So I don't know if you had your tackle shop when we first met. I don't know if you're just doing pop-up shops. Have you had your tackle shop? How long has that been running? And that, go ahead and tell people where they could find it, where you're at.
Yeah, we didn't have that when we first met. We definitely didn't have that. We just had the online store, and we were doing all the little shows.
Pop-up shops.
But we've been here in Lancaster since 2010. We made it through COVID. We are the furthest store out to come to, so people have to pass all those other stores we won't mention to get to our tackle stop. If this did not catch fish, we would not be here. And that's the main thing. It catches more fish, bigger fish. It stands alone. I'm the only inventor that you meet. This was the same fish attractant we took to Salem, Ohio, and 93 sturgeons in 3 hours and 5 feet of water at the harbor. So people have
works. I mean,
like what I have.
You're experimenting, and you're creating, and you're making things that work. I mean, that's kind of a secret for success, isn't it?
Yeah, we hope so. We just pray on it, and the people like it. So that's the best thing. That's the best thing, getting the feedback, and someone actually catches a fish and they can make their family dinner.
Yeah.
And we had a good time on the vacation. Sometimes it's like a puzzle for some of those newer people trying to open up the fishing game. And dad's there. He wants to have a good time and get his kids a few fish. And he wants to look responsible, like he knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
So that's why we get him here. We get him a plan, and we tell him, we want to go fishing, not wishing. So we want to know what we're doing, where we're going for, why we're there, and then have all the tools to catch them. I said, sometimes you don't catch them, but if you have this and follow this method, eventually you will catch them.
Today I was teaching 63 students. I still got my badge on this morning, and that's what I tell them, because we're doing these clinic styles for the kid fishing program for our industry. It's one thing to go to a trout pond and have a kid catch a starved trout. That doesn't mean they're going to stop by your fishing tackle shop and purchase gear as a family, right? So if you teach them that, because like you say, you walk in there and you see all this equipment that's foreign or intimidating, and that's what you tell them. It's funny, me and Scotty talked about this the other day, about the steps, right? So in this workbook I have, it's a dot to dot. And I tell them, you got to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. You can't jump around, to 7 to 9 to 15 and get what you want. Follow the steps one by one. If you mess up, come back. But it sounds like you're laying out the same foundational principles, man, and the same practice about how to get them to do it and make that dad or that mom look like a superhero versus I can't tie a knot. I don't know what I'm doing. And the way I get my experience, Willie, is because I worked on sport boats the whole time and having people come out intimidated and a rent rodder, you know, and then, you know, or a family with their, and that's what I get my ideas about so not only be an innovator, you pay attention to that. And then that's another thing that you bring to the table, you know, not just selling hooks and baits, but you trying to get them to start this thing and continue to do it as a recreational time.
Oh yeah.
It's the inspiration.
Away from the games, you know, just see something like, you know, this morning just going out to the mountains. But, you know, I appreciate you guys doing your thing and helping the kids. And I'll see everybody in Ventura. So it's going to be a good show.
It will be. Look forward to meeting you face to face there. Willie, give us your contact information. Let everybody know where they can reach you online, your social media, whatever you got.
So we're on everything. I think we run 3 or 4 Facebooks, Instagram, Pinterest. It's usually under Amazing Fishing. It's spelled without the Z, MAYSING. And we run the nonprofit AmazingFishingClub.com. We take youth, veterans, and elderly out on full paid fishing trips and just get them to see different things that they may not have seen. Our building where we are located is in a senior facility, and there's plenty of seniors here, but they're not senior. Some people have never seen the ocean. Some people never, you know, caught a rockfish, but they've eaten them from the store. And we open those experiences to them, different classes. So you guys can always find us in Lancaster, California. We're right on 10th Street West, 47. I gotta look at the thing. It's fours. I don't know what the address is.
Well, you can Google it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Links, right? Yeah.
So 45074. I just looked on it.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect.
And our 24-hour bait hotline is 661-949-6100. We do deliver all the way to Los Angeles, guys. So if you watch our delivery videos, have cash and we will show up.
Very nice. Very good. So Kevin's got some tickets to give away.
Yeah, so if there are people are listening to see if we've got followers and listeners, man.
Oh, sweet.
Calls up from this episode between now and the 3-day super show that Willie and I will both be attending and having our booth set up, and we'll be doing podcasts. Me and Scotty will be there doing a live podcast from Saturday from 2 to 12 to 2:30. I'm keeping them. You don't know.
12 to 2:30. You got a half hour.
Anyway, if you hear this and you're listening, 805-248-2166. 805-248-2166. Anybody listening that wants to go to the show, I'll send out a pair of tickets.
Oh, cool.
Just call me directly and we'll drop them in the mail. This is just a way to see if we're getting people listening, man, all the way through our program. And then again, just a little giveaway. So we'll come by and talk to Willie, find out more about his different baits and what he does and hear his tremendous story, get to meet him and stop by our booth. We don't have booth numbers yet, but anyway, we're going to give away pairs of passes to that expo if anybody hears it. 805-248-2166. And again, get a hold of Willie at Big Willie Mays, Amazing Baits without the Z, AMAYSING, man. And again, thanks for coming in today. We got to hit the road. It's a quick one. Hopefully you'll stop by our booth there. Thank you for all the support, man. I love hearing your story, man, because again, people need to be creative, go after their dreams, get some support, tinker around, you know, live the American dream as much as you can into each individual person and don't just wait around, right?
Yeah, it's right there. You just got to grab it. You got to grab it. It's sitting there, but you got to get your hands on it.
That's it, man. All right, this is the last thing real quick, really, before I let you go. I just wanted to share this. This is the jig that I did use last week. Give Ahi a plug. Promar Ahi USA has been a sponsor of Rolling the Network for years. This macro colored 8-ounce assault diamond jig. You can see all the bite marks on it there.
Oh, yeah.
And I used this jig by itself with no bait and pretty much annihilated rockfish. And I caught 2 keeper lingcod and 3 short. So make sure you get out to your fishing and you're fishing in these rockfish in the Channel Islands. Check out the Ahi jigs from Promar Ahi USA. So there's my plug for my sponsor. Give out some passes. Thank our wonderful guest, Big Willie. Anything else you want to add, Willie? Any contact or a word of inspiration or motivation to anybody listening?
Yeah, like you said, you guys keep dreaming. If you can get your hands on it, reach it. If you put 100% in, you get 100% out. I've done 20%. I've done 70%. If you do 100%, I'm telling you, you get 100% back. And love you guys, and we're here. So Big Willie, we'll see you guys on the water.
Appreciate you, man. Much love and respect, brother. We'll see you soon in person, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You guys take it easy.
Take care. I'll send you the link when it's ready, buddy.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Real Angler Podcast with community Kevin Brannon is brought to you by Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. Built to look good and be tough. Promar and Ahi USA. Premium fishing products and accessories with concepts developed by passionate anglers. Channel Island Sport Fishing. Offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats. And more. Mossy Oak. From hot days in the water to sweltering afternoons in the woods, we've got you covered. Outfit your obsession. The Latino Business Expo, Ventura County's largest networking event. Special thanks to Bruce at Kirby Subaru in Ventura. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.